welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam.
I'm Cecilia Omogbe, and it's the final match day of the Nigeria Professional Football League. So many clubs will be battling the relegation, thinking of how they will survive. Warri Wolves not safe, Sunshine Stars not safe, Abia Warriors not safe, and of course, Continental Battle is also up for grab. Indeed, the excitement is at the bottom rungs of the Nigerian Professional Football League. That's after Aqua United clinched the title with a game to spare. We'll be doing a comprehensive preview of all of these games later on the show. Still on spot this morning over in Tokyo, the USA finally got the better of the Boomers of Australia to advance into the gold medal match of the basketball event. You say Greg Popovich actually saw the best and the worst of his team in this particular game. Also in the program, staying with basketball, but outside of Tokyo, Victor Oladipo is a free agent, but he has agreed a one-year deal to stay with the Miami Heat. Yes, staying in Miami, Victor Oladipo. That's where we're starting off the show from. Cecilia, it's been a couple of very terrible years for Victor Oladipo. I mean, injuries, serious surgeries, and he's not been able to, recapture the form of 2019 when he had a breakthrough season and became an all-star. There's been one injury, one surgery to the other, and so it's good to see that at least it's found a home for next season. Just a one-year deal with the Miami Heat. And I hope he can stay there because he joined the Houston Rockets from Indiana Pacers in that blockbuster deal that involved James Harden. And then after that, later in March, right? It was in March. Then just in March, he moved to Miami Heat. And when he got there, he started playing so well, but suddenly he got another injury. But the good news now is that he's at full fitness now. And then he's opting to actually stay, in Miami, which is a good one for him. So for the next one, we know that he will be with this team. He averaged about 19.8 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game in just the concluded season. So that 2017-2018, you talked about the breakout year he had with the Indiana Pacers before injury actually slowed him down. Hopefully, he will be well fit this year, and he can maybe make it into the All-Star again. Hopefully that's what we're hoping. Two-time All-Star player. For Victor Oladipo. Terrible injury. Last year, it was a quadriceps, a tendon injury. Decided to have surgery, season ending, and since then it's been rehabbing, and we hear he's close to full fitness now. And will play for the Miami Heat. If he manages to do well this season, then he can aspire to get one more big contract for his career. You recall, he actually turned out a $45 million extension from the Houston Rockets last January before the trade happened. All right. Let's get into the Olympics now. Exactly. Team USA, they didn't have a choice. All they needed to do was win, and that they did. The United States have the best players, the better players, especially offensively. And when they were in trouble, they went to the players with the rings. Damian Lillard, KD, Drew Holiday, newly minted NBA champion. They all came to the party, and the USA will be playing for their 16th gold medal against France or Slovenia. I wanted to be Slovenia so bad because I like to say Doncic against that. There you go. You said. Anyways. We're not doing this part alone. Our Olympics segment, we're not being joined by sports analysts. Tokes at Demola. Tokes, good morning. It's great to have you on the show.
Good morning, good morning. How are you doing? It's been a while. How are you doing, Tyler?
It's been a while. Welcome back from wherever you've been.
Well, we've all been hiding, so that's all. We're here.
We're here, so let's just dive straight into it. The Olympics are very exciting. Last couple of weeks is winding down, of course, very soon. But let's talk about the USA coming into this competition. A lot of talks about perhaps this is a time where the reign is going to be ended. I'm talking about the basketball team. Because of the way they played during their exhibition season. They lost to Nigeria, they lost to Australia. They weren't convincing whatsoever. But they've come to the Olympics and they're in the final. Are you surprised by this at all?
No, I'm not. I'm not. You know, the fact that they were losing at those pre-tournament games is actually a good thing for them because they really got a chance to assess all the issues and to fix it and get it right. So I'm not surprised. And you know, they got Kevin Durant as well. You know, so I knew. And Australia beat them before, but definitely won't beat them again. So no, I'm not surprised at all.
I agree, no surprises at all. You mentioned KD. KD is looking to win 3 straight gold medals now for Team US. Of course, looking to tie Carmelo Anthony as well. And KD came to play early this morning.
Yeah, you can't guard KD. So when KD's on fire, that's what's up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to really play him when he's on fire. You're spot on there. But against France or Slovenia, whichever team they're going to face, it's going to be hard for this team USA because you really can't predict what they're going to bring into the party when they're playing. Because right now, Slovenia, we saw what they've done. They're making their debut at the Olympics. They've never been here before. But having someone like Luka Doncic is single-handedly carrying that team. For France, of course, well-oiled team. They play together, and it's hard to actually break them. For Team USA, what can they even do differently for them to win another gold medal, their 4th in a row?
I think the interesting factor would be Slovenia. Luka Doncic, you know, he's one of those players that just takes it to another level. So guarding him and maintaining him will be one of the main issues against a team like Slovenia. Against France, as you said, you know, the Rudy Goberts of the world, they are a good unit and function as a team. But as you can see, during this tournament, the Americans they've gotten progressively better and they're functioning better as a unit. They have, apart from KD, well, you know, Damian Lillard, you know, other players, Devin Booker. So, you know, the team has had time to gel. And, you know, there are different factors that can just arise, that there are different weapons that they can use against a team like France, Slovenia. But Slovenia is what worries me more because of Luka Doncic.
Indeed. All right. So we'll see how it pans out between Slovenia and France, and whoever makes it to the final. It promises to be a very exciting one against Team USA. For Slovenia, of course, Luka Doncic can take over a game by himself, and for USA,
MVP.
KD can do that.
MVP.
Damian Lillard can do it as well. So it's going to be a very fun matchup, one to definitely savor the Olympics men's basketball final between Team USA or France or Slovenia. Let's get on with the show now. Let's leave basketball. Cecilia is excited. I don't know why Cecilia is excited about this. Our next story. We're going to Burkina Faso, right? And they have their first ever Olympic medal thanks to Zango. What a name.
Yes.
17.47. 17.47 meters. That's what it jumped to win bronze in the triple jump. Talks?
Yeah, I actually thought I was banging on him to win the silver, but the Chinese guy, performed one of his best ever and managed to just get in there between him and the first guy. But I expected him to get silver, but he even looked disappointed himself. But well, he got a bronze. I mean, he got a medal for Burkina Faso. It's fantastic.
Come on. A bronze medal, the first ever by the country. I don't think there's any disappointment here.
Exactly, because if Christian Taylor was around, I mean, if not because of he ruptured his ankle in the beginning of the year. So Christian Taylor, whenever there's any events, a triple jump or world championship or anywhere, Christian Taylor is usually favorite. So he wasn't there. The Portuguese Pedro Ricardo took advantage. Yes. He won it. Well, no allies. Obviously, he's happy with that, but I know he's not so happy because that's not what he aimed for.
No, that wasn't it, because we saw his pre-race talks about how he was going to come and win. As long as he can beat them in the USA, he can beat anyone in the world. Sounded very confident. And that post-race press, it sounds like he's making a lot of excuses. Talked about coming on from using antidepressants, he's had depression issues, woke up with a swollen. Yeah, he wasn't even sure if he was going to do the race. It all sounds like excuses and all of that, but we're not going to take anything away from this young guy. He's a very talented sprinter, and a lot is expected of him going forward. And talking about, you said something about if he was at his best. What do you mean by that? Because this guy, I mean, is a very, very uber confident guy, and
he runs faster than all of them.
Yeah, they've compared him to
Allows PB runs much faster than all of them. So if you, I mean, even you saw that at one point towards the end he was leading, but he just didn't have that extra energy, that extra fuel at the end just to finish it off. You know, that's when they caught him at the end. So no one else at his best is better than him. But you know, as you can see, he's very disappointed. You know, he said he's lonely at the top, so he has other people. So what I would say is significant to me about that particular race is looking who came number 4 and number 5.
There you go.
Number 4, you have a 17-year-old.
Yeah. Wow.
Number 5, you have a 19-year-old Liberian.
Mm-hmm. Incredible.
So the future of the 200 meters, you know, they said talk about lonely at the top. The young ones are catching them up.
They're coming.
You know, it will not be easy for Andre or Noah, you know, in the next couple of years with those two guys after them.
You're spot on indeed. Yeah. Those are names that we need to keep our eyes on. Definitely going forward. Let's leave the 200 meters now. Let's go to the men's shot put, right, Cecilia?
Yes, men's shot puts. And surprise, of course, the reason, surprise. Okay, no surprise.
Ryan.
Ryan, I mean, is the defending champion. Whenever he's there, usually he wins. I mean, no one can compete against him. It's always difficult. It's just like when you're running against Usain Bolt, you wait for him to retire. Same thing with shot put. When you're talking about shot put, Ryan Crosser happens to be the main guy.
Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. We still got Tokubo Ademola with us, talks from the Highland. Before we come back to you, let's take a look at the performances of Team Nigerian athletes overnight, early this morning. As a matter of fact, starting with Chukwuebuka Enekwechi. Cecilia mentioned him earlier on the show. He was in the shot put final, but unfortunately, he was only able to throw 19.74 meters, which is good enough for 12 out of 12. So he came last in that particular event. In the women's 4x100 meters, round 1, heat 2, Team Nigeria's Tobiloba Amusan, Patience Okon-George,
Ese Brume and Grace Wonkocha. Now you're surprised about the names you're reeling out, right? 4x100 meters relay. They're wearing the ones that were supposed to run.
They're wearing the ones.
Disqualification and doping issues. That's what happened. And of course, you have unfamiliar names in unfamiliar territory. Imagine drafting a hurdler to run and a long jumper to run and a quarter miler to run in the sprint.
After
and the only sprinter we had there happens to be Grace Onkocha. After racing among men in a mixed relay with men who runs 4-3 and drafting a woman who's running 5-1 among them. So you understand what happened. But these ladies, they did their best.
They gave it their all.
They gave it their all. At least they didn't finish last.
No, they came sixth.
They came sixth and they hit.
43.25 seconds, of course, wasn't good enough to advance to the final. But hold the head up, ladies, wherever you are. You've done your best, and that's it for Nigeria. And last but not the least, we thought that was going to be Nigeria's last outing at the Olympics, but we've got another competitor this time. It's in wrestling, Adijat Idris. She's going to be in action in the women's freestyle 50 kg. Cecilia, where has this popped out from?
Okay, this is part of the wrestlers that went to the Olympics. So we go straight to Tokumbo to just wrap it up. Nigeria's performance at the Olympics, especially with the relay team. I know you have a lot to say concerning that. Tokes?
Well, the relay team, you've quite said it all. That wasn't supposed to be our team, really. Grace ran a nice leg. I think she was on the second leg, but they did their best. It was a good effort by the ladies, but you know, that wasn't our team to be. Now, in terms of others, the shot puts, just as you're pointing out, the Ryan Krausers, the Tom Walsh, all the Americans and New Zealanders, that they've been there for a long time. They're very strong. So the fact that he got into the final, I think, is excellent, and it's just something for him to build upon. In other events, Toby, my heart breaks that she's fourth, but it was a good race. She just got edged out, and hopefully, she's still got some years ahead of us. She can get amongst the medals. Who else did we have that performed? Our mixed relays, yeah, as you said, we put a woman on the last leg against men, so that was a bit difficult.
Strange.
So
Enoch.
In other sports, sorry?
Enoch Adegoke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. He made the final. Yeah, that was great. That was Norm that he made the final. This 100 meters was a very surprising 100 meters. Nobody could have. If you're a betting person, you lost all the money or something.
Yeah.
Nobody could have picked the
Lamont Jacobs, gold medalist. Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, it gives hope for all of us, huh? It was fantastic that he made the final. Which we have our wrestlers have come through. The female wrestlers, very proud of them. And again, the people winning medals for us are females. Proud of our Nigerian women. They're the ones.
2 medals.
They're the ones holding it down. Yeah. Well,
shout out to the ladies.
Third coming up.
I love you.
So power to the ladies. There's a lot to review. We need to go back to the drawing board. What sports are naturally, because I think the thing with Olympics is that you look at certain sports, certain people have identities of it. Even that we were just showing athletics. You were showing the hammer throw. The Polish always produce the best hammer throwers. Cubans produce some of the best jumpers. Different. Kenya's long distance. We don't need to say that. That's obvious. Jamaican sprinters. So going to the particular sports that we identify ourselves with, we need to. Go back to the drawing board and strengthen up those things. Look in the past. What have we won medals in? How come we're not winning medals in those sports anymore? Things that have got us through, from athletics to our football to our boxing. And then also, the other sports that we can add in, how can we add in, how it be our strength? If the canoeing thing is working out for us, how can we build upon that? I mean, we have a lot of riverine people. So there's so much to say, so much to do. And hopefully these things will be addressed for us to progress, because, we're a big population. We have a lot of talents. If we're talking about Team Nigeria, but we just talk about Nigerians generally, all you have to do is just look at all the other countries with Nigerians in them that are performing. I mean, where do we start? Where do we stop? There's so many of them. There's Canada, Italy, US, UK. I mean, it's there. Germany. I mean, there's so many there. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to go back to the drawing board too. But we need to see what's brought us success in the past. How can we build upon it?
Yeah. Tokes, I want to thank you so much for taking our time to join us this morning. Hopefully, we do the right thing. And when we go to Paris 2014, 2024, we should be able to celebrate more medals. Thank you.
Yes, and it's just 3 years away. So not 4 years this time, 3 years away.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we'll just wrap up the Olympic segment right now. And then after that, we'll be having Austin Okonakpan joining us from London, and Bada Kitunde Jones will be joining us from Lekki. All right. Let's start off with Nigeria Professional Football League, the games for today, while we're waiting for Austin to join us, and also Bada Kitunde Johnson. Starting up with the fixtures for today. That's the final day.
Yeah.
Abia Warriors and Nasarawa United. Yes, that's the game everyone is looking forward to. Dakada and Eyimba will be in action. Rangers International and Plateau United. Ifeanyi and Warri Wolves, another game, because Warri Wolves are battling relegation. Ifeanyi already relegated. Heartland and Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars trying to nick it and get a continental ticket. Kwara United and Katsina. Lobby Stars and Akwa United. These ones have nothing to play for. MFM and Jigawa Golden Stars will be in Lagos. And of course, you have other games. Sunshine Stars also trying to avoid relegation. They will be hosting Rivers United, Wiki Tourist, and Adamawa, already relegated, really have nothing to play for. Austin, okay, Bada is ready. So I'll start up with Bada, because if you take a look at Nigerian League, before, okay, the two of them are actually here, right here.
Okay.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo. Good to see you also, Bada.
Good morning, guys. Morning, Austin.
Okay, Austin, no, before I go to Austin, Bada, I'll wrap this up with you. I mean, for sometimes before we end the season of Nigeria professional football, it's always hard for you to have a champion before the final day. Usually the final day, there's some things that go on. But this season, it seems everything had really been cool, so to speak. We didn't have much of the boardroom points and everything. It just went on smoothly. And Aqua United, smoothly won the league title without any talk at all. Everyone had to give them because of their unbeaten run they had up to 18, and that happened. And of course, 2 already relegated, just 1 we were waiting for, and the continental ticket. So it seems that maybe the league is getting better this season. What do you think?
Well, when dysfunctionality is the order of the day, when things run the way they should, we start to celebrate. This is how things should run, actually. There's no points or extra points to be given to anyone for doing what they should be doing, and for laying the processes in place to ensure that there are no controversies at the end of the day. There are no boardroom points. Whatever team emerges champion, it emerges on the sporting merit. And personally, I feel pained that I didn't have the opportunity to watch Aqua United well enough. I saw clips of some of their games on social media, and they seemed to play some good football. Every time I looked at them, they were fluid. The quality of their passing, the movement, the quality of the goals they scored, they seemed like deserved champions. And it's credit to them that there are no sort of controversies around their win. No, they haven't won because they were awarded any sort of point in the boardroom, and no one is contesting or challenging the meritocracy of their win. So yes, I mean, it's good to point out the fact that, things have run sort of smoothly, but that's how they should run normally. There is no, how do I put it now? Nothing extraordinary has happened. It is just that, over time we've become used to dysfunctionality every time, complaining about things not going right. And so when they seem to go right, we feel like we've done something out of the ordinary. But like I said, yeah, it's how things run in normal societies, in normal settings. And we need to get used to doing things how they should be done.
You're spot on. Bada. Austin, congratulations. Are you still celebrating this morning?
Thank you, guys. It's congratulations, actually, to the Nigeria Professional Football League, because as you guys said, we started the season and we ended it without drama. And we didn't just end it without drama. We saw beautiful football, breathtaking football. Teams went away, they won, and then we didn't hear of them being, well, to some extent, there were some fans' trouble, but not as we used to have it in the past. So this is good development for league football in Nigeria. Aqua United, everyone always forgets. This is a team that started so poorly and then picked their rhythm. And from when they beat Kano Pillars, I think it was March the 17th, they went on a long run to stay 18 games unbeaten, a new league record, and of course, other records I've seen in the league. So it's a beautiful season. I just hope that we get better right after this season, and then Aqua United goes to the continent and any other continental representative to give Nigeria a good representation. And it's just about sustaining the momentum, not just Aqua United this season. Kwara United got us talking. Oh, the team I respect so much this season. Nasarawa United got us talking. Rangers played good football. So I think we should celebrate the league, and officials and administrators of football in Nigeria should find a way to consolidate those areas where we were not comfortable. Please deal with them, particularly with officiating, players' welfare, club licensing. Let's deal with these issues. Let's start to get better. Don't say, the season has ended and then everybody just fold their arms, and before you know, another season comes and we're doing things the same way. We should always strive to improve, guys. So congratulations to the league.
You're spot on, Austin. The league can definitely get better. It was a decent season, but 2021, 2022 should be a lot better than what we just concluded. I'm going to put you on the spot now before we leave the NPFL. The champions, we know them already. A couple of teams still trying to get on the continent. Nasarawa United, Kano Pillars, Rivers United, and perhaps Enyimba. How do you see all of this playing out today? Do you think Nasarawa United will do just enough to consolidate and secure second spot, or perhaps Rivers United will come from nowhere, or is it Kano Pillars?
It's tough. Entire surprise, surprise. All these teams you've mentioned, they are going to play away from home.
Okay.
So it makes it very interesting. It's going to be very difficult for Rivers United because Sunshine Stars, they are fighting to stay in the league. So I don't see how Rivers United will get somewhere out of that one. Remember that game that Sunshine Stars needed to win against Plateau United? 93rd minute, it was still 2-2. Somehow, some way, it ended 3-2 for Sunshine Stars right there in Akure. So I do not see how Rivers United will go and stop Sunshine United, Sunshine Stars from staying in the league. So, but it's football where anything can happen. These are just analysis, you know. Kano Pillars, they're also going away to Heartland. And Heartland, they're trying to end a decent run that they've had this season. You know, probably not the ambition that they wanted at the start, but they will be proud of where they are. New season with Coach Fidelis Ilichuku. So it's also going to be very difficult for Kano Pillars to get anything out of the Danarian Stadium in Owerri. Eimba, they are going to Dakada. And Dakada, they have shown us a lot of, I keep saying that, but for the losses that Dakada have recorded this season, if you want to judge them by their wins, they deserve to be in the top 5. So they will want to give this season a grand finish, finish probably in the top 10, so everyone gets to, you know, talk more about them and respect them. Don't forget that this is a team that only gained promotion to the MPFL about just 2 seasons ago, and they are making all the statements that they are making. Nasarawa United will be going to Abia Warriors. So Nasarawa United have a very slim chance of getting something out of this. I say this because I followed them closely this season. I know that they're a disciplined side. They are purpose-driven. When they want something, they go all out to get it. They go away from home and they don't defend. They attack. They love scoring goals. No wonder Silas Nwankwo is scoring goals at will. But against Abia Warriors, where Coach Imama needs to prove a point about how the way things have gone this season, it's also looking very tough for them. So for any of these teams that want to make it to the continent, they need to play exceptional football. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough. They might all just end up losing on the final day.
Great analysis, Austin, but you refuse to put your stick your neck out. We'll see what you did there. It's all good.
I'm leaving it for Bada. Bada should bail me out with that one.
It's a tough one because on the final day, having 4 teams are likely to be, if 4 or 5, you Heartland, Abia Warriors, Jigawa Golden Stars, Wiki Tourists, Sunshine Stars, Warri Wolves. So you just need 2 from there to step down. So it's going to be hard. And for the continent, you're having Nasarawa United, Kano Pillars, Rivers United, Enyimba, Kwara United, all of them trying to get 2 slots into the continent. So it's hard for anyone to want to stick out their neck because of it. Let's leave the MPFL. We'll leave you guys with this and quickly let's talk about transfers, of course.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish, Bada, I mean, since 2016, yes, everyone has been talking about 2016, 2017. Yeah, everyone has been talking about Jack Grealish. Finally, now, we understand that he's having a medical at Man City. So he's going to be going there for 100 million quid.
Oops.
Yeah, the biggest transfer in English football ever, eclipsing easily what United paid for Pogba in 2016 when he joined from Juventus. And this one was always going to happen. I think Pep Guardiola has always expressed very openly his admiration for Jack Grealish, who must be said has come on in leaps and bounds over the last few seasons. He's become such a confident, super exciting player with great end product, scores his fair share of goals, creates goals, has one of the highest, if not the highest number of take-ons over the last 2 seasons. It's been a spark, you know, a breath of fresh air, you know, some unusual kind of talent when you talk about English football. I mean, himself and Phil Foden, for me, are maybe the most creative English footballer. Maybe you can throw on Jadon Sancho, who's just been signed by United as well. As, you know, the leaders of the new school of English. Unfortunately, we didn't see a lot of him during the Euros because he only played a beat patch role, and that was owing to the system that Southgate was playing and to the fine form of his teammates to be now, Raheem Sterling. Because on the other side of midfield, of course, that was pretty much nailed down. So Jack Grealish, I think, will complete his move. That's nailed on. Will become a City player and join Pep Guardiola's already over star-studded team. And it's scary, really, because the dominance that City have had domestically in the league over the years, I mean, you look at the additional quality that he brings into that team, providing competition for Mahrez, for Bernardo Silva, for Sterling. Good thing is he can play, even though his preference is playing on the left side of midfield, he can play on the right side, and he can also play as a 10. So he's got you know, that utility value, if you like to say. And he's only 25, so City can get easily 6 to 7 years out of him at the top level. You know, he's just getting into his prime. He's quick. He's very, very comfortable with the ball to feet. Can score goals. Can provide them. You know, so he's got the profile of a top talent, and that's exactly what City are paying that 100 million quid for. But based on the economic reality, to be honest, I thought if anyone was going to pay 100 million pounds, it would be for the Haalands of this world, maybe Harry Kane, not Jack Grealish. But this is testament to just how highly rated he is, especially by Pep Guardiola. And I think, like I said, it just helps to bolster that team and maybe push them a step further than they did in Europe last season when they lost painfully in the finals to Chelsea. The UEFA Champions League, that's it.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, big deal, big pressure for the young man. Jack Grealish going to the Etihad Stadium on that blockbuster transfer. We need to go on a break now. Bada is still going to be with us. When we come back, we'll be going to the San Siro, where Romelu Lukaku has told Inter Milan he wants to go to Chelsea. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Bada Kitsune Johnson, Austin, of course, is still with us. Quick one on Romelu Lukaku wanting to go back to Chelsea. He's told Inter Milan to listen to the offers from Stamford Bridge.
I think that's going to happen. I have a suspicion that's going to happen. Thomas Tuchel has made his position very clear. He needs a target man. Timo Werner, who was bought last season, has flattered to deceive. And I'm trying to be complimentary to him because, in truth, I should say that he's actually a flop. Yeah, he's flopped. And he doesn't trust Tammy Abraham to have the quality to improve the team. And for a team that won the UEFA Champions League, you feel like maybe goal scoring is not exactly their problem, but he knows that it's only going to get harder. You know, teams are going to try and figure out his system. There was some kind of novelty about the way Tuchel's team was playing last season, but they've had, you know, a close season this summer for all the managers to try and figure out how he plays and be able to nullify Chelsea. And Romelu Lukaku brings in that X factor. Yeah, pretty predictable in the way that he plays, but he's still unstoppable. You know, he's powerful, he's quick, he knows how to finish, and he will think that he has some sort of unfinished business in the Premier League because his stint at United didn't exactly go to plan under Jose Mourinho because he struggled. There was a lot of talk around his first touch, lacking the required quality, and him just not being dynamic enough. That prompted United, even with him in the squad, to shell out big bucks, buying other strikers, especially when they brought in Alexis Sanchez, which further knocked his confidence. But he's gone to the Serie A. He's delivered the Serie A title for Inter Milan. He probably feels a sense of completion in that regard and wants to go back to where he's played before. He was a youngster at Chelsea where he wasn't given a chance, went to WBA, started to build his reputation, and then went to United, went to Everton and then United. So I think Tuchel will see him as the final, you know, piece of the jigsaw. Once he gets a fearsome striker who knows his way to goal, who can contribute 20, 25, 30 goals a season, that Chelsea team will be even more formidable. So I think that they may do a cash plus player deal. We've heard a couple of players being mentioned as make weight in the deal. Yeah. Whichever way the player is willing to go, obviously it makes sense, and the money is good. I mean, the total package is good for the team, and they can keep maybe Lautaro Martinez and reinvest that money back into the team. Then Inter will feel like they may not be significantly weakened by his exit. But I think that Lukaku really wants this because It feels like he didn't exactly deliver when he played at Chelsea. Played at another big club, United, didn't exactly cut it. So third time coming might be the time to do the magic and to prove all doubters wrong that indeed he's one of the elite marksmen in world football.
Indeed.
Interesting. Yeah, Austin, quickly, let's get your thoughts on this one. It's transfer season, and we've been waiting for a while. We have not had really any big name on right now. Jack Grealish going to Man City. So it simply means that the hurricane, that everyone is saying, why go to Man City? That deal muted now. And for Lukaku, 24 goals in 36 games for Inter Milan. Now he wants to go back to Stamford Bridge. Just wrap this up for us.
So quickly, with Jack Grealish, there are a lot of things that Pep Guardiola can do with him. Let's take a look at some of the stats. Grealish played 26 games last season. Sterling played 31, Phil Foden 28, Mahrez 27, Silva 26, and De Bruyne 25. Grealish scored 6 goals, Sterling scored 10, Foden scored 9, Mahrez scored 9, Silva scored 2, De Bruyne scored 6. You see, it's not far from it. But let's go to chances created. Grealish created 81, Sterling 39, Foden 36, Mahrez 44, Silva 27, De Bruyne 80. He's buying that guy to come and walk around things. And the right word was used by Bada, versatility. It can confuse, it can become the joker, for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Fouls won. Grealish won 110. Sterling 41, Foden 34, Mahrez 30, Silva 18, and De Bruyne 31. Now you know what Pep Guardiola wants to do with that sort of player, and it's going to be very effective. Let's go to Lukaku now. I think Lukaku, I agree with Bada, has unfinished business with the English Premier League. He's coming back in this second coming to prove a point, to say to everyone that thought he was finished with his spell at Manchester United that you're wrong. And he's got a good man in Thomas Tuchel to, tweak that mentality for him to come and then impress. And I totally agree that he's that force that Chelsea needs. He doesn't take anything from the quality of any of the strikers that Chelsea has at the moment, particularly Tammy Abraham, whom I believe is very intelligent and can still be useful. But with Lukaku's current form and verve and drive and what we saw at the Euros, he wants to continue from there. And there's no point. Inter Milan can keep him. When a player as that says he wants to leave, the best thing for your sanity and for the club to run smoothly, just let him go. And I think it will be a fantastic addition to Thomas Tuchel's side at Chelsea.
Interesting. Also, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Bada, quickly, just maybe in 30 seconds, Louis van Gaal is going to, of course, coach Netherlands again in 2019, and announced that he's retiring from football, and now he's back. He's 69. What's he going to bring in his third coming to the Dutch?
Well, I think some stability. The generation of Dutch footballers now are quite young, and they haven't won anything in world football. They always play good football, but come onto the big stages and then they flounder. But if you remember his last stint at the World Cup, it took them as far as third place, I think, in Brazil, 2014. So, and it's his third time on the job. He knows the job very well, knows how to build a team. And I think he's got the raw materials to build a team that can compete for the Dutch again. But the real problem is the Dutch need to win things. I've been watching football since I was 7, and I can't remember, and that was after Marco van Basten and Gullit won them the Euros in '88. I can't remember seeing the Dutch win any major international tournament with all the big stars that they produced. One of them on the screen there, Robin van Persie, and that's not good enough. So the question is, can Van Gaal, do what no recent or modern manager has been able to do for the Dutch, which is win an international title? I don't think so. But in terms of stability, in terms of consolidating on what they've done so far, I think he's the man for the job.
All right, Bada, thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thanks for having me.
All right, before we look at the papers, quickly, we heard yesterday Eddie Okon talking about the coach of Rivers Angels, talking about the game against Asaka Ladies. But the coach of Asaka Ladies, Coach Yusuf Basigi, feels that this is going to be a revenge for him. And after Rivers Angels won their opening game 2-0, this time around, he will definitely want to beat them tonight when they face each other, 7 p.m. Nigerian time.
It's something big that it's a record and it's historic. So definitely I'm in for history. I will not term it as a revenge, but for a win. They won their first game, and I'm also going to win the next game. So it's a tit-for-tat affair, but it's not like a revenge. But for me, I'll term it as tit-for-tat. We won the first game, I also win the second game.
We'll see about that, right?
We'll see about that indeed.
Yeah.
River St. George was Casas in the final of the WAFU B Women's Champions League qualifiers in Côte d'Ivoire, right?
Yep.
Okay, before we go, let's take a look at the papers. We've got we've got three. Right, start with complete sports news concerning Super Eagles #1 goalkeeper Amadou Okoye has extended his deal with Sparta Rotterdam until 2025. And there were talks about going to Ajax, but he's decided to stay with Sparta. Barcelona hope to announce Messi deal today. Let's say Olympic gold always a special one. Of course, Madrid set £21 million price tag for Isco. All right, then let's go to the other papers now.
Okay, Sporting Sun here. Sporting Sun here, Onuachu says, I'm still 100% at Genk, not bothered by transfer links.
You'd be ashamed.
Yeah.
You'd be ashamed if he stays at Genk this season after that spectacular last year.
Breakouts last year. I mean, okay, Lukaku agrees personal terms with Chelsea. Sporting Sun is taking it a step further. Avangal named Netherlands coach Messi to sign new Barca deal this week. We can't wait for that to happen. Man United PSG far apart in Pogba's negotiations. Okay,
for that particular situation, PSG, I think, have the upper hand in the negotiations because Pogba's got 1 year to go. If he doesn't sign a new deal, which it appears it doesn't want to do, then they're going to have to lose him on the free.
Again?
So, again. So they don't want that to happen again. So they will obviously try and find a deal with PSG and sort this thing out. It's becoming a distraction.
It's becoming a distraction. £87 million. That was what they pay in.
He hasn't repaid all of that
at
money
all. He
in
hasn't.
terms of performances.
So maybe if he has just bring 100 million quid, sell it, get rid of him and make more money. All right, Aston Villa unveils Danny Ings. We're going to Sporting Life. That's the last paper for review this morning. Wisla Cravo won, Napoli 2, Osimhen missing. Okay. Spalletti rested him. Osimhen missing. Come on, the guys. So headlines sometimes can be very funny. And dollar reign for Borodudu and S.A. Brume. Yes, they've gotten their, $10,000
and $7,500.
From the ministry. That's a good one. The envelope was given to them right there in Tokyo.
You saw what's inside, though?
We saw the brown envelope. I mean, it was a bit fat. Okay, it could be. But I think that's what is inside. Cash. That's what it was meant for. Not a check.
Money.
Yeah, not a check. So, which is a plus. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omongbe. See you tomorrow.
I am Tayo Salam. Enjoy the rest of your day.